First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, the great millstone that taught us his truth and that's still teaching his truth. And as always, I want to give much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the great millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, today this lesson will be edifying. And I want to do a lesson based on this article that you see here on the screen. This is from naturalnews.com. And the title of the article reads, it says, Texas goes full militant police state to silence critics of Israel. All right, let's read that again. Texas goes full militant police state to silence critics of Israel. All right, and you know, we know that most of the time, whenever you have somebody that's in a position of power, you know, you have an individual that's in a position of power or a group that's in a position of power, you know the people, I'd rather say, that are in power when you can't speak out against them. All right, and as of lately, you've had the 1948ers, you know, the little hats, as we call them, small hats, you know, that's been in the news lately, you know, in the guise of, you know, the whole Palestine versus Israel ordeal that took place back on October the 8th. You recently had Iran and Israel in the news, because that's now something that's brewing up and heating up, you know, and also too, you know, the whole issue with them being down there in New York and the sewers and the gutters, you know, Benjamin, the man that's through. I'll just put it like that. All right, you know, he got, you know, he pretty much has charges placed on him, and they trying to get him out of office. So it's all kinds of scandals, you know what I'm saying? It's all kinds of scandals and things of that nature that are in place when it comes to these individuals, because ultimately they're not the real people. Okay, and I'm gonna be very concise with my words, you know, because ultimately I don't want them to do anything with the video to flag it. But this is realistically going in on the fact of how, you know, they're trying to ban up quote unquote free speech, which is, you know, that's not even quote unquote free anymore. You know, and this is ultimately going to push out the prophecy of the famine of the word too. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's actually open up with a precept real quick here in the book of Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, just came to my mind, and then we'll read the article. And like I said, you know, Lord wants to be an edifying lesson. It's Ezekiel 3. I want to say it's in Ezekiel 3. Let's see. Just bear with me, Baba Bashar. Just bear with me. Okay, I think this is it. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 23. It says, Then I arose and went forth into the plain, and behold, the glory of Yahweh stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river of Kibar, and I fell on my face. Then the Spirit entered into me, and set me upon my feet, and spake with me, and said unto me, Go, shut thyself within thy house. Shut thyself within thine house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee. And what are bands? Bands are pretty much like ropes or chains, something that restrains you and holds you back. Right? It says they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. See that? So, you know, remember the prophets were set up and sent forth as for signs. You know, the prophets would do particular things, like Isaiah walked around naked. You know, Jeremiah walked around with a yoke around his neck. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel, you know, he had to lay on his side for a particular number of days. You know, he had to cut his hair and burn some of it. You know what I'm saying? He actually, you know, bound himself up. You know, the prophets actually did these things. You know, Hosea married a wife of whoredoms, a harlot, you know, pretty much a 304, you know. But all these things were done for signs and for symbols, as it tells you in Isaiah the 8th chapter. So it says in verse 26, it says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, and thou shalt be dumb. You see that? And to be dumb means to not speak, and shall not be to them a reprover. You see? So it's going to be something, you know, eventually that's going to come down the line, whether it be laws, you know, and laws and particular draconian measures that are set up to the point to whereas we're not even going to be able to teach no more. It says, and shall be, that thou shalt be dumb, and shall not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house. But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, he that heareth, let him hear, and he that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house. You see, so at the end of the day, this word is only going to be given. This word is being preached amongst all of our people, you know, wherever we may be scattered. You know, but at the end of the day, those that are supposed to hear are going to hear, and those that ain't supposed to hear are not going to hear. And it's not our job to force anybody to listen. You know, it's not our job to force anybody to go jet setting across the four corners of the earth and knocking on people's door. No, all right. We do these videos online. We do the work by going out there on the highways and byways, which is the test of our faith. All right. And at the end of the day, the word is going to be heard by who it's supposed to be heard by. Point blank, period. You see? But it said that the Lord, it said, I will make thy tongue to cleave upon the roof of thy mouth, pretty much means that you ain't going to be, I'm going to make you not be able to speak and say anything. You see? And with these laws being passed, okay, that's going to be a sign, because ultimately, you know, you do have other individuals who are coming out, you know, actually speaking against these individuals, this group of people, I'd rather say. You see, their own tongues are falling upon themselves, but the main people that they want to aim it at are the men of the Lord, because we understand and know who they are, and they know who they are. You know, remember, this is a story, all right, written that Yahawashi prophesied before the foundation of the earth, between, you know, the protagonist, which is Jacob, and the antagonist, which is Esau. You see, and Esau right now is in the process of being exposed highly. He's being exposed on a very, very high level. So he's going to do everything and anything that he can do in order to stop the exposure, to stop the bleeding, but he can't do it. All right. So it says, speaking up on behalf of the innocent Palestinians being, you know, y'all see the words there, you know, being est. I was gonna say that by the IDF, and like I said, I'm being very, very mindful with the words, because if you say these key words on the video, they'll make it seem as if, you know, you're for it and against it at the end of the day. You know, we understand we're for prophecy at the end of the day when it's all said and done. You know, but you know, the FBI and all these individuals, you know, they watch our videos and they monitor and everything that's going on, right? It says by the IDF in Gaza is an anti-S act. Okay, let's read that again. Speaking up on behalf of the innocent P's being slaughtered by the IDF in Gaza is an anti-S act, and that's why they say anti-Sem or versus anti-Shum, because when you go into it, you know, when you go into the sons of Shum, okay, which when you read in Genesis the 10th chapter, they call that the table of nations. All right, when you go into it, the Palestinians, you know, they're really Ishmaelites. You see, you know, you have some Elamites that are scattered abroad up in there too, but realistically, they're sons of they come from the line of Shum. So when you go into it, you know, when they say, oh, that's anti-S-metic, you know, but it's really going back to, you're saying that they're anti-Shum, that they're not sons of Shum, which they are. You know, so, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's all a play on words, you know, and these people don't even know what they don't even know who Shum is, because they say Shem, but it's really Shum. They don't even know who Shum is. You ask any of these people, that's anti-metic. I'm saying that on purpose, but you know, you ask them, okay, well, who is Shum? Who is Shum? They won't even be able to tell you. You know, oh, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You know. Anyways, it says, according to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who says that all the students and faculty members at the University of Texas at Austin, which is UT, a major school in Texas, right, who are exercising their First Amendment rights in this way belong in jail. Now this is only happening at the universities right now, but you better believe that this is going to spread forth. Okay, this is going to spread forth into laws that are going to be passed, that's going to be statewide, and this is happening in Texas. And you know, Texas is the most, Texas don't be playing that shit. I'll just put it like that. Texas is big on pretty much having their own rights. You look at the whole ordeal at the border, which that just, quote unquote, just got silent out of nowhere, but that's still happening. But it says that they belong in jail. Okay, now when you get the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter, it tells you that, what is that, Revelation 2? They shall cast thee into prison. It might be Revelation 2. Salakia, maybe 2 and 9. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Revelation 2 and 10. All right, so it says, this is Yahawashi speaking, the words here I read. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, You see, we are going to suffer, but the suffering that we're going to go through and the suffering that we're going to have to endure, okay, it's all a test of our patience at the end of the day. And the main test of our patience is going to be whenever that MOTB is established, because you're not going to be able to move around and do nothing without having an MOTB. You ain't gonna be able to drive your car. You ain't gonna be able to operate in society. You're not gonna be able to buy or sell without having that MOTB implanted in your right hand or in your forehead. You see, you're not gonna be able to do anything. You're gonna be completely excommunicated, excommunicano. All right. So it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer." You see, it says, "Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." You see that? Some of us are going to be locked up and put in concentration camps, put in jail. But it's going to be a testimony at the end of the day. You see? It says that ye may be tried. You see that? It's all going to be a period of being tested. Okay? It says, "And ye shall have tribulation 10 days," which is just a period of time. "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." You see that? And some of us are going to have to be put to death for this thing. Some of us are going to have to be beheaded. We're going to have to suffer. We're going to have to suffer. And that's not everybody. But the Lord has written in particular individual stories. Whoever they may be. To be put in jail, to be locked up, to lose their lives, to lose everything. You see? But as it's written, it's all a part of a test at the end of the day. And these things are coming. They're coming down the pipe, and they're passing these laws and these draconian measures daily. You see? It says that he had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. And they're using, the small hats, the 1948ers. They're using them, you see, as a guise to push forth these particular laws. You see? It says on X, Abbott fumed about the protest after sending in Texas state troopers. You see, he's sending pretty much the Texas state troopers, which is pretty much, the modern day Centurions. It says Stasi style, to deal with the pro-Palestinian contingent at UT that is outraged over Israel's behavior in Gaza under the leadership of Prime Minister BN. Right? Arrests being made right now and will continue until the crowd disperses. Abbott, a tried and true, you see the words there, who plays the part of a Republican, wrote on Elon Musk's social media platform. See? And this is just a prelude of what's to come statewide. You see? And the scriptures say that in Isaiah the 29th chapter, that make a man an offender for a word. You see, and that word offender is in the Hebrew is chata, which means sin or to transgress. It's pretty much a transgression or a sin to speak out against these people. But our job as the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, our job is to speak out against the wicked. The scripture says that the scripture says that they hateth him that reproveth or rebuketh in the gate. You see? So when you bring out the truth, you know, you looked at as a prey. That's also written in Isaiah the 59th chapter. Okay? And I'm just quoting the scriptures. You know, you can go back on, you know, you can go back and look them up. You know, I'm quoting where they're at. So, hey, like the scriptures say, seek and ye shall find, you know. But, you know, I'm on the road kind of at the same time, too. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Continuing on, just bear with me 1 second. All right, continuing on, it says, these protesters belong in jail. You see that? So if you protest, if you pro-Palestine and you anti, anti-Israel, whatever the case may be, you know, they look at you as being anti-S-metic. You know what I'm saying? And that's looked at as being a crime. You know, you're looked at as being a part of the problem. And you need to be stopped. you see? And they're going to continue with their agenda. You know, and they're going to continue with their agenda with bringing forth these laws, man. The scriptures talk about, you know, he frameth mischief by law. Let's get that real quick. Psalm 94. And then we'll get a few more and finish up the article and wrap it up. Psalm 94. Verse 20, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? You see, and he's really framing mischief at the end of the day. You see, when you frame something, it's like you set it. It's like whenever you got a picture frame, you know, you have an idea of what you want to place inside that frame to paint a picture or to have that picture stand out. So he's framing deceit by way of making things in law. You know, because he's the one that has control of the earth right now. You see? Let's read this in the NLT. It says, can unjust leaders claim that the Most High is on their side? Leaders who decrees permit injustice? Because here it is, out the same lips, I'll tell you, you have a freedom of speech. But when you use that so-called right of freedom of speech, it ain't free. It's not free. You know, it ain't free. Right? Verse 21. It says they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous. You see that? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous. All this is aimed at the men of the Lord. At the end of the day, they're using these protests. They're using these talking points to go to schools. And you have these people out there on the streets. You have people that don't even know what the hell is even going on, protesting, just being a part of something. You know what I'm saying? Not even really understanding what's going on. But all this is really aimed at taking a stance and a shot, all right, at the men of the Lord. Like the scriptures say, it says that in secret they shoot at the perfect in Psalm 64. All this is aimed at the men of the Lord at the end of the day. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous, you see, and condemn the innocent blood. Okay? Because that's ultimately what they want to do. They want to lock us up. You know, they want to put wicked decrees out there to try to lock us up and put out hits. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to do. But verse 22, it says, but Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. You see, Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi is going to be a defense unto us, man. You see, he's going to be a defense unto us, and he's going to protect us. Verse 23, it says, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. You see, as they're doing all this wickedness behind closed doors, framing up mischief and framing up deceit, Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi is going to catch them in their own iniquity, man. It says, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, Yahweh, our power, shall cut them off. You see, the Lord going to cut these niggas off, man. You know, and they're going to be rooted out because really, you know, they're being pointed out for being the people really pushing forth all kinds of iniquity and evil. You see, these guys, you know, I'm doing the air quotes right now. These guys, right? So let's go back. It says, these protesters belong in jail. Anti-S will not be tolerated in Texas. You see, it didn't say this at the school. He said in Texas, period. It says, period. Students joining in hate-filled anti-S protests at any public college or university in Texas should be expelled. and it says public. It's gonna be brought to the even lowest denominator at public gatherings. Anywhere. If you speak out against this, you could be rolled up on, man. Let's take a look at this video. Fair use, fair use. I'm using this all for educational purposes. See, they got them billy clubs out because they ready to get down, man. And you run up on them dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's the police. They got the riot gear. They ready to put in work. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to go to work, man. And it's all just gonna escalate. It's gonna get to the point whereas they really gonna have the military, the National Guard, you know, being dispersed at these places, and it's gonna be on some, you know, it ain't gonna be no more rubber bullets, man. It's gonna be, you know, get your ass back or die. You know, when they bring out them horses, when they bring them horses, literally, like when they bring the literal horses out, man, you know, you better get your ass back. Horses will trample your ass, man. You see? So when you got the National Guard and military, you know, and police and, you know, militarized police being brought up in regards to just mere speech, that's a sign, man. You know? And it goes into history about Austin, Texas, and, you know, police. So here's another video. Let's take a look at this one. Damn, wow. And that's a big ass camera. That shit had fell on his head. You see, they ain't playing. Hey man, see they ready, man. You know, that's what it's coming down to. And this is in Texas, man. And Texas is like the last place where they really be like Texas is really be the main state that really just allows shit to kind of ride for a little while. So when these things is happening in Texas, that's a sign, man. You know? And he's over here quoting, you know, quoting scriptures here. This all lines up with the agenda of the mother of harlots. And the mother of harlots isn't talking about, you know, the 1948 is the mother of harlots. All right, it's talking about Babylon the Great or America. Okay? It says, you see you see the two words there, the blank blank, and their fanatical religious beliefs. One commentator wrote about all this, referencing Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9 in the Holy Scriptures. And that says, you know, behold, I will cause them to be the synagogue of Satan, who call themselves Jews, which are not, which really, when you break it down correctly, like really, it's actually talking about actual Israelites. You know, those who are of the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the actual Jews. You know what I'm saying? Who are using, the scriptures to pretty much push forth, you know, their indoctrination of the circumcision and things of that nature for salvation. That was persecuting the church. That's what it's really going into. But at the flip side too, you know, the scriptures are, I said tokens because I was looking at a truck and said tokens on the Slocky. But the scriptures are twofold at times, and we do use that scripture as well to use that against, you know, those who claim themselves to be the true chosen people today, which they're really not. So, but at the end of the day, you know, just correctively speaking it, you know, it is actually talking about the actual Israelites, you know. Let's see. That's mainly it. So I just wanted to bring this information out. If there's any other articles or scriptures that you Akim, can think of, feel free, Baba Kasha, to place them on the comment board. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Hakudash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that's so teaching this truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.